Isn't negative self-talk a gem? You're thinking about something you want to do today, and then all of a sudden your brain is like, hey, you suck, bro. You can't do it. You should just give up. It's never going to work. And whatever your narrative might be, I'm glad you're here because we're going to talk about some of the common ways we can give ourselves negative self talk and how we can counteract that by reframing that negative talk to be something that's more positive and productive. What's up, YouTube family? David Medawar here. This is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about some examples of the negative self talk that we employ in our heads and how we can better make it something a little bit more positive and giving us a better outcome. Why does this always happen to me? Oh, yeah, this is a good one, right? You've had a breakup, you lost your job, and now you're scratching your head and you're like, the same old shit just keeps happening to me every single time. I keep trying to do things differently and I keep getting the same outcome. I want to challenge you on something. Instead of asking yourself, why does this happen to me? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? See, oftentimes in life, we'll get back the same experiences over and over again, almost as a test to see if we've learned a lesson. And it's going to be futile if you try and do the same thing every single time in life and now you're expecting different results. Because newsflash, that's the definition of insanity right there. Look at it as an opportunity to step back and say, hey, what can be the good outcome of this? And what can I learn from this? It was a bad breakup. Ask yourself, hey, what were some of the good things that maybe I want to find in a future partner? Or, hey, maybe this made me tougher when I lost that job because now I learned how to really put some extra effort into my life to figure out what makes me happy. There's always a silver lining in any situation. Number two, it'll never work. And the problem with that mindset is that it makes us a victim of circumstance, and it really is closed-minded because it takes away an awesome opportunity to get a little bit creative. See, the thing is that as a society, a lot of times we'll do things over and over and we'll say, hey, this is how we've always done things. If you want change, well, we don't want to do that. And really what it is there's actually a fear of changing what's comfortable. And some of the best things can actually come about you trying something new and getting a little bit creative. So instead of saying this will never work, ask yourself, how can I make this work? What haven't I tried yet? Number three, how could they? Let's be honest, people are going to disappoint us. Family, friends, your boss, your girlfriend, your husband, even your ex. And what really it comes down to is, are we putting lofty expectations on others? Are we expecting that others will never disappoint us in life? Because I hate to break it to you, if we put that expectation on somebody else, that's an unattainable goal for them to live up to. They're always going to disappoint us no matter if we like it or not. Now, that's a separate point from boundaries and whether that level of disappointment is violating your boundaries to a degree where you need to sever a friendship. You need to have a breakup. That's different. And so we have to look at it from a difference between forgiveness and not losing our sense of self. You can forgive somebody for what they've done to you and those wrongdoings. And at the same time, it may mean that you have to go your own separate ways and you can have compassion for them from a distance. Because if we don't have compassion for others, we're basically, as the old saying goes, expecting to drink poison and expect that the other person will die. I know it's kind of morbid, but the way to really think about it is that we are imprisoning ourselves to the other person by holding on to that resentment and that bitterness. And now somebody else comes along in our life and now we're spilling that on them unfairly. Is that where you want to be? Number four, I wish I could. Wishful thinking is just what it sounds like, wishful thinking. Unless you actually do something to make them happen. And the other thing to look at too is that we're all provided with these different God-given gifts. Somebody like me, I'm a software engineer. I'm good at writing code. I'm really bad at reading novels. That was a struggle for me in school, trying to read fictional novels and figuring out what the heck is going to happen next. Something that you're good at, such as skateboarding, could take you 20 minutes to come up with a new skill, whereas for somebody like me, it could take 5 hours. And that's okay. And so instead of staying in this void of wishing things can happen, really look at your strengths. They even do this in corporate America where companies will have these employees do these tests called Strength Finder. And what it does is it basically figures out what you're good at and some of your weaknesses. And so instead of focusing on what you're weak at and trying to bring the best out of it, focuses more on leveraging your strengths. That's something to think about. Find out what you're good at. Is the career that you're doing right now, is that something that you are truly passionate about? Does it take you a lot of effort? Is this something where when it comes to wishful thinking, you've had this hope that you can become a dancer or become a football player, and you've got this awesome talent and you haven't yet brought it to fruition? Explore that, because just sitting on the sideline and wishing is not going to do you any good. And that leads into number 5, which is something similar. This negative self-talk of I should. The problem with I should is that it has no sense of urgency. I should go to the gym. I should lose weight. Is it working for you? The thing is that it's a sense of comfort to tell ourselves these things, but to actually go and get those results is a whole different level. And so what this really comes down to is we have a mental barrier because the subconscious likes to keep us in the comfort zone and to keep us doing what's familiar. But the problem is that if we stay in that space, we don't grow. I should needs to become something along the lines of A, I must, which is more of a sense of urgency. And then 2, you have to ask yourself, what is the emotional reason behind that? Are you just simply saying I must because somebody told you to? Or is your I must something along the lines of, hey, you had a health scare, I must now go to the gym and take care of my health to reduce my chances of having some sort of illness or whatever your answer might be. Drop a comment in the section below if you've got some tips or examples of negative self-talk and ways that you have come up with better, meaningful, positive ways of thinking, because it's going to help this community out. And I'm trying to really outreach to as many people as I can, and we're here for each other. If you guys want to see more content like this, then click on that subscribe button and I'll catch you later. Peace.